Well, good morning and welcome back to Walk the Word. It's great to have you with us again. And today we're going to be carrying on in the book of Mark, and we're going to be looking at Mark chapter 8, verses 22 through to 26. And I'll just read them to start with. And they came to Bethsaida, and some people brought to him a blind man and begged him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the village. And when he had spit on his eyes and laid his hands on him, he asked him, "Do you see anything?" And he looked up and said, "I see people, but they look like trees walking." Then Jesus laid his hands on his eyes again, and he opened his eyes. His sight was restored, and he saw everything clearly. And he sent him to his home, saying, "Do not even enter the village." And the first thing that I want to pick up here is that people expected Jesus to heal. People expected Jesus to heal. They brought him, the blind man, and they begged him, they pleaded with him to do something, to come and break in. And that's really challenged me, because actually, do people do that with me? Have I stepped into what God has got in terms of bringing the kingdom around me, that people come to me and go, "We need God to break in. I need healing. Will, you know God, pray with me. I need breakthrough in this situation. I know that you're a man of God. I know that things change when you pray. Will you pray for me? I know that you bring joy. I know that the God that you serve brings joy and peace and life." Is that what I'm known for? Is that what we're known for as King's Church? And I know that doesn't happen to me. But the challenge here is that people expected there to be breakthrough with Jesus, to the extent that it wasn't just, when he chose to go and pursue after something that the Father was doing, that it happened. Actually, people are coming to him and go, "Jesus, will you do this? Will you do this?" Rather than him having to go seek, people were coming to him. I long for the day when people are coming to us at King's Church and going, "I need breakthrough. I need breakthrough, and I know that you've got the answer. I've heard about Jesus. I want to find out more. I've heard about the good news. I want to find out more." I'm longing for the day that happens. And the thing is, we can expect it because we see it here, people coming to Jesus. The second thing that really strikes me is that the healing doesn't happen straight away. The healing doesn't happen straight away. Jesus prays, and actually only partially what the man was hoping for happens. He gets some sight back, but it's all blurry. It's a bit weird. He sees people, but he can't quite see it fully. And that reassures me, because I know time and time again I can pursue after something and not get everything that I hoped it would be. And my temptation is to write it off completely. God isn't doing anything in that situation. There's nothing going on. He hasn't done what I hoped he would do at the first time of asking. So clearly it's not in his plan. Clearly it's not the right thing to do. And so I give up. Whereas here we see Jesus that has all power and authority praying for someone, and yet in the first instance the man doesn't see everything that he hoped he would. And there's a lesson here in persistence, about keeping pursuing, about keeping going, about keeping pursuing after the things that are good, the things of the kingdom. And even if we don't see them straight away, to keep pursuing after them. Because then we read later in this that they pray again and the man can see completely. There's something about persistence, about keeping on, pursuing after God for the promises that he has, the things that he has promised to give us. We need to be a people that learn how to pursue more fervently after that, not to get disappointed, not to get let down, not to look at what God isn't doing, but actually see what he is doing. Because another way of looking at this story is, rather than going, the first time Jesus prayed, the man didn't get his full sight back. Another way of looking at it is how amazing Jesus prayed for him and suddenly he could see something. Because before he couldn't see at all, now he can see something. Therefore God's doing something. Let's pursue after that. I want to have a heart that isn't cynical, that doesn't always look at the negative side of a situation, but looks at the positives. Yes, it's not everything that I hoped for yet, but it is something, and so I'm going to pray for more. I'm going to pray for more, that God will increase what he's already started doing. I wonder what that might look like for you today. Maybe there's some situations that you've been pursuing after God for kingdom breakthrough, and as yet it doesn't feel like you've seen everything that you hoped you would. Maybe it feels like you haven't seen anything yet. Maybe it's that you've seen a little glimpse of it, a bit like this man that can see something, but it's people that look like trees and it's all a bit weird and blurry. Well, let me encourage you. Keep on going. Keep pursuing after God. Keep pursuing after his kingdom in that situation. Because what we learn from this passage is that there is breakthrough when we persist. Thank you so much for listening to Walk the Word, and we'll be back again tomorrow.